So, how do you deal with being really judgmental about something? Well, I'm going to share a story with you about me being really judgmental and how I used IFS and A Course in Miracles to help me shift. Because being judgmental is the first step that we often ignore when we're suppressing our anger, and suppressed anger becomes hatred and rage over time, and that can get us into trouble. And as we all can see and feel, there's an enormous amount right now of judgment, hatred, and anger in our world. So I'm Amy Rose, and I have a holistic counseling and consulting practice. And I had an experience this morning. I got up early and I took a long walk, and I was sort of noticing, trash collection's a little late today. And I decided to take a walk by this beautiful place near the water, which meant I had to walk past a lot of very grand houses on the way. And I noticed this one house had a ton, like 20 bags of recycling that didn't fit in the bin. So I could look at it, and a part of me got really judgy about her and was like, oh, that does not belong in the recycling bin. So all of a sudden I was ruminating as I'm walking past these people that don't know how to recycle and blah, blah, blah. And that might seem like a silly example. However, this is what often catches us up. It's some judgment about someone doing something, and suddenly I wasn't taking in the beauty. I wasn't looking at the sunrise and seeing the water. I was caught in this negative energy that I didn't feel good in. And so I'm doing this a long enough time to somewhat practice what I preach. And I said, okay, this is bigger than the recycling. What is going on? So first of all, when we're being super judgy, one up, I'm better than people, I would never stick that in my recycling. There's usually a part of us that's feeling less than, maybe one down. And I could quickly see that this part of me was kind of pulling me out of a real sadness that I feel about what's happening in the world, this horrific hatred and polarization. And a part of me felt kind of helpless. And so I was able to spend time accessing what I call our inner sovereignty. And it's not the king and queen top-down kind of energy, but this essence, this presence within that is our true self, that all of us have because it's who we are. And so I spent time breathing, kind of getting rooted, to sort of feel myself align more with that energy. And then I could notice these two parts of myself and have compassion and practice some IFS techniques. And if you don't know what IFS is, I've done a lot of videos about that. So I'll pin a link to one of the basic videos about that. And, I also used one of my favorite lines from the Course in Miracles. I think it's lesson 49. God, you can substitute the word love or whatever you use. Love is with me, goes with me everywhere I go. The reason that is true is that your true self, the essence of who you are, who I am, is a spark of this love. And that is our true nature. But these parts of us often start to drive the bus and cause us to act, think, feel, and behave in ways that we don't really like and don't really want to do. But judging ourselves for being judgmental makes things worse. So you have to access this inner sovereignty. So I'm walking back, and this time the owner of all of this trash is out. And I had a really nice conversation with her, and I realized she's a really nice person. And she was saying, I'm decluttering. And she, I swear this happened, lugged out this big, huge paper cutout of a throne that someone had used for a birthday party. And she was like, I think someone will take this, but had a big Q for Queen on it. And I was laughing because I had been on my throne of I'm so better than you and I know how to recycle and you don't. But I really took myself off that and found that inner sovereignty. And here she was sort of taking that symbol of the old queen out to the garbage. And I just thought there was so much metaphor in all of that. It was such an instant manifestation for me of the universe reflecting back what I was thinking and kind of really working on. So I offer that to you. I hope it brings you some amusement. And here's what I did. Here's an exercise you can try. So if you catch yourself being judgmental, just see if you can kind of write down the qualities of this part of you, maybe just sketch out a little thumbnail sketch of it, and just notice how you feel towards it. Can you be compassionate? Can you see what this part of you needs? And if you're really angry and irritated that you even have that, maybe your spiritual parts are being judgy, that you're being judgmental, see if you can sketch out that holier than thou part of you that's kind of wanting you to be perfect. And see if you can have some compassion for that. Because if you're observing those two parts of you, you're not in them, and there's a good chance you're closer to your inner presence, your inner sovereignty. So I hope that's helpful for you, and we're going to keep doing these videos on how to use IFS, A Course in Miracles, and all sorts of other things I use in my own life and my own practice, so that you can be this inner light that is who you truly are and radiate that. I feel like we have a responsibility to do that in today's world. Okay, thanks for watching, and please remember, some days you can radiate your light, some days you just need to receive light, and wherever you are on your journey of being the light, you're always welcome to connect here at Delight the World for hope, healing, and illumination. And thanks for watching.